Hi, I'm Kevin Rutherford. Welcome to RG's Talent Tips. Today I'm going to show you how to stop behaviors that destroy your leadership effectiveness. So let's dive right in. I read a lot, and one of my observations about most of the literature on leadership is this: that the messaging almost always focuses on developing those good behaviors that the experts suggest leaders adopt. Having a leadership behavioral framework to guide your development is certainly important. We too use them in our work with companies and individuals to really create a roadmap for where to be in the future. Those frameworks include many things like building trust, communicating, building effective teams, inspiring others, making decisions, and so on. To develop those skills, leaders will often read books, attend seminars, take training courses, observe other leaders, or even watch videos like this one. Knowing what leadership behaviors to practice are important, but it's equally important to consider the behaviors that you exhibit that are not helpful to you or your team. In fact, as an executive coach, I spend the bulk of my time coaching leaders not on developing new behaviors, but really working on and getting rid of the bad behaviors or habits that are holding them back. The bad behaviors are self-limiting and often impact team or company performance. As management guru Peter Drucker once said, we spend a lot of time teaching leaders what to do. We don't spend enough time teaching them what to stop doing. Now, this is hard to argue with. It's the doing that's difficult. From my experience coaching thousands of leaders over my career, I can honestly say that a lot of leaders shouldn't focus on learning what to do. They need to focus more on learning what to stop. The problem is that most of the behaviors we have as humans, and therefore as leaders, are on autopilot. We do them without much thought. And that means that the first challenge that we have is identifying what needs to change. Here are some ideas that you can use to employ that will help identify some behaviors that should change or stop. First, ask. Start by asking around. Ask your team members how they're doing. Use the questions, what's working with my approach to leading, and what's not working? Have the courage to listen carefully and take notes instead of arguing or trying to rationalize your behaviors. Ask your team members what they want you to stop doing. When they tell you, no matter what it is, just say, thank you. Do not argue, do not justify. Ask your peers what they think you should stop doing. Again, say thank you, do not argue or justify. Lastly, ask yourself, what do you do just like your parents did? Next, did you pick up any unproductive behaviors from your early bosses? Whose sayings and advice do you repeat? What are you spending time on that isn't productive? Secondly, engage a coach. Really review your own history here. Most of your leadership habits were formed by the time you were 30 years old. Working with a qualified, experienced coach can help you accelerate your growth 10x. A coach offers an objective set of eyes and ears. They provide insights that you just can't get from self-reflection and self-analysis. And if you want to know the most common development areas for executives, individuals, and teams, be sure to check out our coaching page on our website at www.rutherfordgroup.org/coaching. Here you'll find lots of ideas on where to start and areas that may be holding you back. Third, find a feedback partner or buddy. In the absence of a coach, ask someone you trust to observe you in various settings and then give you feedback on your performance and the reaction of others. You can be accountable to yourself or have multiple buddies to keep you in check. Here's a tip that I learned from my mentor, Marshall Goldsmith. Every day I challenge myself by answering 16 questions that represent behavior that I know is important, but is often easy to neglect. I find that it does a wonderful job of keeping what is most important to me top of mind. There's nothing magical about the number 16. Just use the number that works best for you. Equally, how frequently you choose to do your check-in is up to you. It doesn't have to be every day, but often enough so that it's in your head. Each question that you have, put it on an Excel spreadsheet and then answer it with a yes, use a 1 on the spreadsheet, or a no, use a 0 as a number. Now this exercise will move very quickly. In my case, I have my assistant call me every day. She just listens to me read my questions and provide my answers and then records them. By way of example, I'll share with you some of the questions that I use for myself. I start with 6 key questions, starting with, did I do my best to set clear goals, make progress towards goal achievement, be happy, find meaning, build positive relationships, and be fully engaged. Now, the good thing about beginning the 6 questions with that phrase, did I do my best to, is that it's almost impossible for me to blame someone else for my failure. No one can be responsible for, did I do my best to, but me. The remaining 10 questions I have are personal and really reflect my values and may not work for you. But here are 2 of the ones that I have. 1, did I have fun today? It's one of my 6 key core values. The other thing is, what did you learn today? If you're not learning, you're dying. Imagine a person was going to call you every day and listen to you answer questions about your life. What questions would you want to ask yourself every day? Try it out. Write down the questions that you should ask yourself every day. The results can be very eye-opening. 4th, take a 360 multi-rater assessment. If you want to discover your shortcomings and take your leadership to another level, then I strongly suggest that you participate in a 360 multi-rater feedback assessment. Why? Because everyone around you, your direct reports, your peers, and your boss have an opportunity to evaluate what you do well and what you can improve. Their insights are a gift that you cannot imagine. Doing a 360-degree feedback takes courage and humility. And from personal experience, that's a fact. Leaders are going to hear things that they might not want to hear. I know I did. But also, it helps you recognize blind spots, change some behaviors, and then it also made me a better leader. And that's because leadership is about them, not about you. As leaders, all of us have things that we do well. Most of us also have annoying habits or behaviors that we need to stop doing. So the bottom line for now, start first by identifying and stopping the behaviors that are not serving you well in your leadership. Begin by making that stop doing list. It's important for you to write out and to find out what you should stop doing and then stop doing it. Most importantly, only work on one thing at a time. And whatever form of feedback you get, make sure to act on what others tell you. It's all fine and dandy to read about what we can improve, but feedback is only effective when it's acted upon. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're changing habits, so this is going to take some time and some effort. It will require courage to pursue this path. However, the potential for significant positive results is extremely high. You'll see your effectiveness as a leader grow exponentially. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something that you can apply right away. If you did and want more, please subscribe to our channel below and check out our website for even more content, handouts, and free tools that'll take you from where you are to where you want to be. Until next time.